Hey YouTube, Geigerman here, and today we're going to take a look at Artemis, and we're going to kind of compare some gear sets and see what is most optimal for him. So before we get into the gearing process, let's go ahead and talk about the unit itself. So Artemis, the Sanguine Surgeon, he just came out this past weekend. Take a quick look at his skills. So he is a healer, and when he heals, he's going to apply Blood Craving, which is going to increase the healing received from Artemis's basic attack by 30%. His ultimate is where his damage comes through, so during his ult, he's going to lock onto enemies, dealing AoE damage up to 8 enemies with each attack inflicting anti-healing. It is a 3-second anti-heal. The ultimate itself lasts for 20 seconds, and it's going to deal damage up to 8 enemies. Pretty decent cost, and pretty good damage scaling. So we'll kind of take a look when we actually get into the fight and see how much he can do. His basic attack is going to be attack based, healing to one target. During his ultimate, he's going to heal up to 3 allies around the target with 150% healing multiplier upon hit. So basically what's going to happen is, because he's attacking during his ultimate, when he hits that target, it's going to heal up to 3 allies around that target. And then he's going to have his tonic, which he's going to periodically target an ally, and he's going to put his blood craving on them. You'll be able to tell because there's actually like a red glow on the units that get hit by it. Nearby allies will then be healed for 150% of the healing multiplier. Obviously, this is the only skill I don't have skilled up all the way. So you can get it down to 20 seconds and 180% healing multiplier. I do not have him awaken, but we'll take a quick look at his awakenings. So A1 is pretty strong for him. So he's going to get 50% crit during his ultimate. Obviously, we don't care outside the ultimate because crit rate for a healer means nothing. So during the ultimate, he's going to get that 50% additional crit rate. What's fantastic about that is you don't have to gear as heavy into crit rate. So if you have some really good pieces that don't have crit rate but have extra crit damage, you'll be able to stack quite a bit more crit damage instead. You can also get more attack speed, just stats that you wouldn't be able to get. Rage regen works amazing because you want to ult as much as possible. So if you're able to gear with less crit rate and more into rage regen when you have them awaken 1, it's a fantastic thing. A2 is just extra attack. A3 increases the effect duration of blood craving, so that's where he throws his tonic on allies. It's going to grant that healing from his basic attack. And then his A4 is extra rage regen from his auto, which we want. We want as much rage regen as possible. And then his A5, so his tonic heals allies in range with a 30% healing multiplier per second, lasting for 5 seconds. So again, that's that passive, or that it's a passively done ability, but max skilled, it's on a 20-second with 180% healing multiplier total. So it's just going to increase that healing output. So artifact for Artemis, there's a couple different options you can go with. So for this testing, I use Golden Scarab. It's not maxed, but basically I just wanted the extra rage regen. It also gives some extra attack. Some additional options that you can go with. So you can go with Keen Wisdom. He's going to have allies next to him, so he's going to get that additional attack. If you want to start immediately with an ult, you can always go for something like Tumultuous Horn to increase his initial rage, though I don't exactly recommend it just due to the fact that he already starts with 600 rage, and if you have a rage building comp, then you're not going to need this for that initial deploy. Apart from that, I mean, you could go with something like a euphoric orb, but I mean, it's going to increase attack speed, which is nice. Max skilled works really nice because you don't have as much downtime with that. But again, you want to increase his attack, and if you can get as much rage regen as you can, that's what you're going to want to aim for. I have a couple different sets that we're going to test out. I'm not going to use what he is built into right now. So I will be swapping some gear sets through the video. The gear sets I'll be working with, so I have a kind of a mid-tier Soulbound Arcana set. That'll be the first set that we test. Then I have a mid-tier Infernal Roar set, be the second one. After that, we're gonna go with an Ageless Wrath set, and we're also gonna do a better Infernal Roar set, and then last is gonna be a better Soulbound Arcana set. So let's go ahead and hop into the combat. So I'm going to use the same exact setup for each one. So we're going to be using Artemis, and then he's going to be supported by Leia, Dolores, Laurel, and Hollow on the right side. On the left side, we're going to try to get as much CC in due to his cultist bonus, faction bonus of dealing more damage to CC affected targets. So we're going to put Mari in as well as Aeon, and we're going to time those around his alt. So our first set is going to be our basic Soulbound Arcana. So go with Artemis, followed by Dolores, so that way he gets the Invig buff, followed by Leia, so her alt's ready to go and renew it. And then we'll go ahead and pop Laurel down to boost his alt up and damage. We're going to leave her down the entire time. And once these enemies come through, gonna alt. And then we're going to time Laurel pretty close to when he's done alting. And then Hollow basically as soon as she's ready. And we're just going to let things ride out. With this setup, I'm basically maxing as much rage regen as I can. As long as Laurel is not ulted, Artemis is going to get a damage boost from his ultimate. That's from Laurel's passive. Whenever she ultimates, she does not provide that damage bonus. So for our first base Soulbound Arcana set, we're looking at 33 mil DPS. For a healer, I mean, that's really respectable. We're going to go ahead and swap it into my Infernal Roar set, my base one. You notice with all these sets, they have a pretty good amount of attack speed, just above 90 crit. Crit damage is kind of difference between the two. This first set does not have near as much as the next set I'll run in, but I kind of wanted to make gear sets that were aimed towards kind of every early in-game player, so whether they're just now farming the sets out or what, so that way you can kind of see a slight difference. So again, we're going to do the same thing. Tried to make these as close to as possible as they were. And as we go through these, Artemis does great damage as a healer, but you should never expect to be able to solo this content. This is Gear Raid 21. There is no power of dominance. If there was, you'd see the icon in the top left. Also, when I started the combat test, you could see it is turned off. So this gives you just a base feel for how well he does. Is he great as a support? Yeah, he's fantastic. So if you're just on the cuff and you need to squeeze out a little bit more damage, Artemis is going to bring a lot of things for you. So he's going to bring some good damage during his ultimate. He actually does really good healing, but not only that, he has anti-heal as well. So you're gonna get a lot out of him. So our wall is pretty much collapsed. Killed 4 enemies total, and 3 of them died right at the end. Damage wise here is 25 mil. So this was just kind of our basic Infernal Roar set that I have. Pretty low on the crit damage. So we're going to go ahead and swap them into another set. I'm going to do one of my better Infernal Roar sets. A lot of crit damage on this set. Just about the same attack speed. And he is at the 100% crit rate mark. So definitely going to be a lot better damage this time. So 38.9 mil. And last, we are going to put him in an Ageless, or next, we're going to put him in an Ageless Wrath set. And I forgot to pop Leia's ult. So I will be restarting this run. Just because I want them to be as close as possible. Plus we really do need her ult and that extra damage. Not getting a single kill is honestly destroying the wall. So we can kind of already see that Ageless Wrath is not going to be the way to go. So yeah, 4 kills. 3 of them happened right at the end. Damage wise for this, we're looking at 25.8 mil. And I forgot to do the recording for my better Soulbound Arcana set, so we're going to go ahead and put Artemis now in that set. You can kind of see going out the damage wise of how much his ultimate's doing. So it's doing right now about 90k a hit per enemy, which is pretty good damage. I mean, Artemis is a support character. So obviously this last set is a Soulbound Arcana set. Every time he ultimates, that's going to get increased in damage. So now you can see it has gone up to over, it's kind of differing, but it's ranging from about 100k to, I think I saw up to 120k. It's going to go up again. So there was 140k. There's a lot of damage numbers, so obviously it's going to be a little bit harder to see, but he does pretty well in Soulbound. Obviously he did really well in Infernal Roar. And because both of my left side CCers died, I tried to put Greed in, but my Greed has no gear on. Um, maybe 4 stars. Though it could be 5 stars, I don't remember. Anyway, so 37 mil right there. So now we're just going to kind of take a look at just the top 2 sets in case you want to see kind of the stats of those. So when we put him in the Better Infernal Roar set, so 355 attack speed, 102.5% crit rate, 306.5% crit damage with a 20.5% rage regen. And then we will show off. So I'm pretty particular about making sure the gear sets go back because I don't like to mess anything up. We're going to take a look at the Soulbound Arcana set now. So 381 attack speed, 101% crit rate, and then 358% crit damage with no rage regen. These sets both performed pretty close to each other. I think in the long haul, especially in that fight, you're gonna get more bang out of the Soulbound Arcana. Though, as far as damage up front right away, Infernal Roar is gonna be the way to go for that. But they are pretty close. Obviously, that was only a portion of the fight because the wall broke. Has a solo DPS on there, but it kind of gives you an idea. So Artemis will do really well when paired up with somebody like Comet, obviously Boreas, potentially. I mean, he could do the fight with Vierna. You could even run a cultist team with Vierna, and it's just going to amplify her damage due to the extra CCs going out. If you want to build it that way, totally up to you. Fastidious has a nice video with Artemis solo DPSing 120 using a tank setup, so that is an option that you can do as well. I don't know if he's yet done 21, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he did. He is a great content creator. Definitely check him out. He does some great work. But Artemis definitely not going to solo 121 unless you have him in some super pristine gear, have a really nice setup with tanks going out. Definitely going to want his A1. So he probably has the potential for an average player like myself. That's not going to happen, but if you run him in like a cultist team, I could definitely see some work happening. Either way, hope you enjoyed kind of the breakdown of the video. Feel free to ask any questions that you need to. Try to get them answered as best for you. You guys take care and thanks for watching.